Okay, we're going to have a speech here from Theo, and then we're going to head through. Feel free to grab one of these, there's hundreds of them. So we've got Theo, and then we're going to go on the march.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the placard. We've got plenty of placards, and it's great if we communicate the message. So, I'm speaking of my own accord. I'm not representing anyone else. Nobody is controlling what I say.
Thank you. What's your good name? Were you not at the Scotland block?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a dream! Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, that in spite of the difficulties and frustration of the moment, I still have a dream!
Yes!
It is a dream deeply rooted in our ancestors' ethics.
Yes!
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Yes!
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the green hills of Glasgow, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at a table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the city of London, a corrupted state, sweltering with the heat of injustice and oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
Yes!
I have a dream that our children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by a digital ID social credit score, but by the content of their character.
Yes! Well
Ladies
done.
and gentlemen, I make no apology for drawing on the words of Martin Luther King Jr. because we are now defending our fundamental rights against a modern slavery, a digital slavery. Just last week we learned that the U-turn by Sir Keir Starmer, chivalrous knight of the realm, and leader of His Majesty's government, in His Majesty's faith democracy. Having previously said that you would need digital ID in order to work in the UK, we are now told this would not be mandatory after all. I want us to celebrate this win over the powers that should not be. We are the winners, we are the leaders, and we have won the latest battle.
Yes!
I see faces here today who have been stalwart warriors, defending all of us against the tyranny of digital slavery. I want to thank you who have joined me with the placards.
We love you, Tia. Keep it going.
Those who have joined me with placards week after week in all weather, spreading the word against digital ID and all aspects of digital slavery. You know who you are. We have played our part in this victory alongside other warriors throughout the country and indeed globally. 3 million people signed the e-petition against the introduction of digital ID, and what happened? An unattributed, faceless bureaucrat tried to pretend that people power makes no difference. They tried to dishearten us, and they sent an email saying that by the end of this parliament, employers will have to check the new digital ID when conducting a right-to-work check.
People power rules! People
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now have it documented that they were bluffing. As even the BBC state-sponsored propaganda has reported that government drops plans for mandatory digital ID to work in the UK. I want to say that this climb down is a true victory, and it's thanks to you,
People power! People power!
It's
People
thanks to the
power!
people who signed the petition. Yes, I know that many of you will not agree with petitions because we do not have to ask permission from the politicians for our fundamental rights. However, a petition can send them a strong message to remind them who they serve. Parliamentary representatives are supposed to serve the people, but these servants sometimes think they are our masters. Let us remind the nonsensical, wannabe pharaohs and their minions that they will never be our masters.
Shame on them! Shame on them! People power! People power! We rule! We rule! People power!
Ladies and gentlemen, even the BBC is reporting that the next government U-turn could be so-called government plans to scale back jury trials.
No!
The control freaks do not want out-of-control juries to make their own mind up. They would rather have compromised judges doing the bidding of an elite oligarch slave owner class.
Shame on
We
them!
won this battle. However, we all know that this is just one battle in an ongoing war. We have great visionaries such as Ian Davis and others who warn that this apparent U-turn is only a superficial gloss designed to deceive us. Ian Davis is correct. He warns that the real problem of the technocratic dark state, which is the title of his book, is that the globalist slavery systems go way beyond government in Westminster. Rather, they lie with creepy digital spying companies such as Palantir, with its claws in the NHS data. These lawless, oligarch-owned, panopticon control freak digital rapists are in the process of hacking all databases, even when they are not yet centralized into an official digital ID social credit score system. Ian Davis has also made the sharp observation that it is not the digital ID that is the real problem. He points out that digital ID is different from digital identity. This can be part of the deception because people consider an ID card to be a way to prove who you say you are, whereas digital identity is much more than digital ID. Digital identity is a fusion of every bit of data which exists about you from the timeline of where you were throughout your entire life, and who you met, and who you communicated with, and what was the content of that communication, and what you like, and what you dislike, and what resources you have or have not. The real problem is when your digital identity is catalogued as part of the digital slavery plantation owner slave catalogue.
Shame on them!
And assigned a social credit score which determines what you can and cannot do, where you can and cannot go, what you can and cannot communicate, what you can and cannot buy or sell.
Well said, TA, you're number one. We love TA.
Ian Davis is right, and it is scary how far these white-collar bandits will go in order to digitally rape all of humanity. But let us not wallow in that valley of despair. We will find a way to overcome them. Keep the faith. Nature is too complex to be controlled, and that is why control freaks are destined and doomed to failure. We are going to win this, and all we need to do is to talk about it, because when we talk about it, we work out in our minds a million little ways in which we can throw spanners into their slavery works. And when they understand the problem we're up against, every right-minded person in the world will now throw spanners into those corrupt anti-human mechanisms. Our rights are fundamental, or some may say God-given. And they are not for creepy control freaks to give or take from us. The problem those wannabe pharaohs cannot escape from is that decent human beings have ethics. Technology can be used for good, but it can also be used for evil. Right now, ethics and principles established since ancient times are being ridden roughshod over. The same people who say we need digital ID to defend against fraud, corruption and criminal gangsters are showing themselves to be fraudulent, corrupt and gangsters. They imprison people without trial. They block people's bank accounts without fair process. They censor your online speech arbitrarily. Kidnapping is okay. Arbitrary killing is being normalised. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a dream that Glasgow and the UK will lead the world in re-establishing ancient ethics and reject digital slavery. I can tell you from the support our placards get from Glasgow cyclists and pedestrians and motorists, including lorry drivers, that Glasgow is against all aspects of digital slavery. Maybe Glasgow City Council should show some leadership and declare a digital slavery-free zone. Maybe the devolved government in Edinburgh can do the same. Maybe we can reject companies like Palantir accessing NHS data. And maybe we can sanction all companies involved in data harvesting and the new exploitation of a new digital slavery plantation owner class. Let us lead the world in rejecting the new digital slavery and re-establish the ancient ethics. Let us demand.
People power united together! People power united together! People power united
Let us demand
together!
that if we have so-called government, it should be small government with a duty to defend people from exploitative digital slavery. Let us demand that any government must actually serve the people instead of trying to control them. Let us demand that government overreach is stopped. Let us demand that any government that is deemed necessary should restrict itself to simple services like bin collection or basic infrastructure such as electricity grid and water supply. Let us demand that government stop using non-free software which steals people's data coercively and against their will. Let us insist on free software as defined by the Free Software Foundation. And that every individual owns their own data and cannot have it taken with coercive mechanisms such as tick boxes to give it up or not proceed. This coercive behaviour is unethical. We must resist coercion of all types, including physical rape and including digital rape.
People power united together!
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a yes-no question for you. Who wants the newborn babies in their family to be assigned a social credit score by oligarch-controlled Palantir assisted by the NHS? No. The people of Glasgow and the people of the UK and the people of the world are not having this new slavery. If you know this message, you are the resistance. If it's new to you, then join the resistance. Join us with placards or set up your own group and make sure to talk about it. That's how we win. Thank you.
Talking about placards, if you grab your placards, Audrey's going to come up for 4 or 5 minutes and just, she's kindly travelled here today. Ryan contacted her, so give her a big cheer and then get ready to head into town in 5 minutes.